Ladies and gentlemen, dear students and dear colleagues, Mesdames et Messieurs, chers étudiants, chères étudiantes, et chers collègues, welcome to the 2021 White Coat Ceremony of the Faculty of Medicine at the University of Ottawa. Bienvenue à la cérémonie de la blouse blanche 2021 de la Faculté de médecine de l'Université d'Ottawa. 2021 is a special year to be embarking on your studies at the Faculty of Medicine. In particular, this is the first year we are holding the White Coat Ceremony for all students of the faculty enrolled in a doctoral program. In addition, and despite the unprecedented challenges in healthcare and higher education linked to the pandemic, we have been able to make important and exciting progress on multiple fronts with our new strategic plan called Leading Innovation for a Healthier World. I will begin by introducing our professionalism officials. Le Dr. Alain Stinzi, vice-doyen aux études supérieures et postdoctorales, Vice Dean of Graduate Studies and Postdoctoral Studies. Le Dr. Charles Su, vice-doyen par intérim aux études médicales de premier cycle, Interim Vice Dean, Undergraduate Medical Education. Before we go any further, I would like now to pronounce the Indigenous affirmation of the University of Ottawa, l'affirmation autochtone de l'Université d'Ottawa. We pay respect to the Algonquin people who are the traditional guardians of this land. We acknowledge their long-standing relationship with this territory, which remain unceded. We pay respect to all Indigenous people in this region from all nations across Canada who call Ottawa their home. Nous reconnaissons les gardiens des savoirs traditionnels, jeunes et âgés. Nous honorons aussi leurs courageux dirigeants d'hier, d'aujourd'hui et de demain. The main mission of the Faculty of Medicine is to serve our community. We do so by educating and graduating each year new physicians and researchers, and by generating new knowledge and medical discoveries. Obviously, this has major benefits for our society. Nous sommes fiers que notre faculté s'en acquitte très bien, mais comme le démontrent les classements universitaires que nous avons et qui sont enviables à l'échelle nationale et internationale. We are proud in our faculty because we do so very well, as exemplified by our enviable rankings on the national and international scenes. Votre rôle, à titre d'étudiante et d'étudiant, comporte trois volets. Your role as students is threefold. First, to acquire knowledge. Second, to develop skills. And third, to demonstrate the right behavior, including professionalism, medical ethics, and social engagement. For many centuries, it has been a practice for a graduating physician to take an oath, often in the form of the Hippocratic Oath that would bind them to the higher values and attitudes in the practice of medicine. This oath, somewhat modernized in some cases, continues to be taken at the end of training upon receipt of the degree of medicine. Donc, à l'issue de la formation, on déclare à la société que les finissantes et les finissants possèdent deux qualités essentielles, des compétences en médecine et un grand professionnalisme. Our Faculty of Medicine affirms that professionalism is essential not only for all students enrolled in programs leading to a doctorate, but also for enriching the learning experience and the learning environment. Therefore, the faculty calls on all of its medical and PhD students to make a declaration of professionalism at the very beginning of their training. This is why we have gathered together today for the White Coat Ceremony, a special one since, as I mentioned already, this is the first time we're bringing together all doctoral students in the faculty. A white coat carries much symbolism. La blouse blanche est riche en symbolisme. Au 19e siècle, in the 19th century, and based on many accounts, science and experimental medicine were gaining great respect due to its obligations for rigor, accuracy, and reproducibility, which contrasted back then with the unknown elements linked to the practice of medicine and the prescription of medical treatments. Back then, physicians wore black uniforms. À l'époque, les médecins portaient des uniformes noirs. Mais compte tenu des progrès rapides en santé publique et en médecine et des efforts déployés à vouloir accroître la certitude et la précision dans leur profession, les médecins de l'époque, selon certains historiens, ont décidé d'adopter la blouse blanche, symbole de la tenue de protection des chercheurs de laboratoire. So, physicians decided to adopt the white coat the protective coat worn by lab researchers to show their commitment to enhance precision and accuracy in the practice of medicine. The link between experimental and clinical medicine further attests as to the importance of holding the white coat ceremony to all medical and PhD students. In addition, the white coat is more symbolic today than ever before, as it has become increasingly apparent that the health of the world and its populations depends on all of us embracing the scientific method in medicine. Pour terminer, chères étudiantes et chers étudiants, dear students, nous sommes privilégiés et heureux de pouvoir vous accompagner dans le cadre de la prestation du serment de professionnalisme auquel vous serez fidèles tout au long de votre vie. We are privileged and delighted to accompany you in taking your lifelong oath of professionalism. This is a great moment in all of our lives. C'est un moment d'une grande importance dans toutes nos vies. I would now like to introduce Dr. Alain Stinzi, Vice Dean, Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies. Dr. Stinzi is a professor with the Department of Biochemistry, Microbiology, and Immunology in our faculty, and is a member of the Ottawa Institute of Systems Biology. Dr. Stinzi is also our Vice Dean of Graduate and Postdoctoral Studies at the faculty here in Ottawa. He currently leads a very large team grant on the role of the gut microbiota in pediatric inflammatory bowel diseases. Au cours de sa carrière, il a publié plus de 130 articles et chapitres de livres et a contribué à plus de 180 conférences scientifiques et pédagogiques. Dans le cadre de ses projets de recherche, il a établi des collaborations avec des chercheurs possédant des compétences et une expertise multidisciplinaire allant de la science clinique à la science fondamentale. Dr. Stinzi.
Thank you, Dean Jasmin. I am pleased to welcome our PhD students, their family and friends, and our colleagues at the University of Ottawa, watching us from different parts of the world today. It is our first white coat ceremony for our PhD students, and we wanted to celebrate with you in person. However, with the restrictions put in place due to the pandemic, we must host this ceremony virtually this year. We are one of the very few North American faculties that have a white coat ceremony for PhD students. And I believe the only faculty with a joint MD-PhD white coat ceremony. Yet we think that this is a very important event because of the key role played by biomedical research in medicine and the unique responsibility that each of our PhD students will assume once they complete their training, but also because of the increased public scrutiny that has recently been placed on biomedical research. La cérémonie de la blouse blanche sert d'intronisation symbolique pour les étudiants nouvellement admis au PhD, ainsi que les étudiants qui ont défendu avec succès leur examen de passage au PhD. Vous êtes sur le point de vous lancer dans votre carrière d'étudiant. La cérémonie de la blouse blanche symbolise le haut niveau de professionnalisme que l'on attend de vous en tant qu'étudiant et tout au long de votre carrière. Au cours de vos études, vous en apprendrez non seulement la démarche scientifique et à comment mener à bout un projet de recherche, mais également à comment travailler de manière productive et collaborative, à comment mener des recherches avec intégrité scientifique et dans le respect de votre domaine d'études et de vos pairs, à comment communiquer la science au public d'une manière honnête, respectueuse et impartiale, et à comment cultiver l'inclusion, l'innovation et la créativité. This white coat ceremony serves as a symbolic induction for newly admitted PhD students and graduate students who have successfully defended their PhD transfer exam. You are about to embark on your graduate student career. The white coat symbolizes the high standards of professionalism expected from you as a student and throughout your careers. You will not only learn how to do science, but also how to work productively and collaboratively, how to conduct research with scientific integrity and respect for your field of study and your peers, how to communicate science to the public in an honest, respectful, and unbiased manner, and how to cultivate inclusion, innovation, and creativity. The amount of new knowledge generated each year has been increasing exponentially during the past decade, and the past year has exemplified this scientific process. As soon as the COVID-19 virus was discovered, its biology was investigated, its epidemiology was studied, diagnostic tests were developed, and public health measures were established and implemented. Vaccines were developed in record time thanks to collaborative scientific and medical efforts. The pandemic has taught us to learn quickly, to work together, to adapt and be innovative, to persevere, and to be committed to helping each other as well as our communities. The speed at which we have generated knowledge on this specific virus and disease is unprecedented and exciting because we can see in real time the fruits of our labor and are starting to realize the benefits and applications of our research to public health and start controlling the pandemic. However, we cannot benefit from new knowledge without scientific rigor and integrity. Public trust in newly generated knowledge is dependent on the belief that the scientists behind these studies are unbiased, honest, credible, and committed to the advancement of science and medicine for the good of all. Without this public trust, we will never truly realize the benefits from new knowledge. And it falls to each of us to work every day to earn this trust. Je vous implore d'embrasser ces valeurs de professionnalisme en menant des recherches avec intégrité, rigueur et un respect sans compromis de la vérité. I implore you to embrace this value of professionalism by conducting research with integrity, rigor, and an uncompromising respect for truth. We are proud of all of you for what you have achieved so far, and we are looking forward to seeing how you will advance in your careers. Dear PhD student, I will now ask you to pronounce with me the Declaration of Professionalism, first in French and then in English. En tant qu'étudiant au doctorat, je reconnais mon rôle de membre de la communauté scientifique mondiale. Ma conduite influencera désormais le savoir et notre compréhension du monde naturel et guidera les découvertes futures, les politiques et les actions. La réalisation de ces objectifs nécessitera la confiance du public. Conformément aux valeurs fondamentales de la faculté, celles de respect, collaboration, altruisme, honnêteté, intégrité, excellence, responsabilité, équité et l'amélioration de soi, je m'engage volontiers à exercer mes activités et interactions professionnelles avec intégrité scientifique en utilisant un processus basé sur la logique, la rigueur intellectuelle, la pensée critique, l'intégrité personnelle et un respect sans compromis pour la vérité. À être reconnaissant de mon rôle en tant qu'ambassadeur pour la science et de reconnaître mon devoir de servir ma communauté. Je m'efforcerai d'être honnête, respectueux et impartial lors de mes communications avec le public. À valoriser mon travail et dans la poursuite du savoir, je respecterai les contributions de mes collègues, mes pairs et la diversité de pensées qui enrichit mon apprentissage. À favoriser une communauté inclusive et de reconnaître que la diversité favorise l'innovation, la créativité et le progrès scientifique. À être toujours conscient que mon travail est pour l'avancement du savoir et ceci au service de toute l'humanité. Ma recherche est un acte de service. Je fais cette déclaration comme preuve de mon engagement à respecter les normes professionnelles attendues par la communauté scientifique mondiale, l'Université d'Ottawa et la communauté desservie. Now in English. As a PhD student, I recognize my role as a part of the global scientific community. My conduct from now on will influence knowledge and understanding of our natural world and will inform discovery, policy, and action. Achieving these goals will require public trust. In line with the faculty's core values of respect, collaboration, altruism, honesty, integrity, excellence, responsibility, accountability, equity, and self-improvement, I willingly pledge that I will perform my professional activities and interactions with scientific integrity using a process that is based on logic, intellectual rigor, critical thought, personal integrity, and an uncompromising respect for truth. I will value my role as an ambassador for science and recognize my duty to serve my community. I will strive to be honest, respectful, and unbiased when communicating with the public. I will value my work and in the pursuit of knowledge will respect the contribution of others to the field, my peers, and the diversity of thought that enriches my learning. I will foster a community that is inclusive and recognize that diversity promotes innovation, creativity, and scientific advancement. I will always be mindful that my work is for the advancement of knowledge and the benefit of all humanity. My research is an act of service. I make this declaration as part of my commitment towards upholding the professional standards expected by the global scientific community, the University of Ottawa, and a community that I deserve. I will now call the names of the new PhD learners. The name I call today are those preferred by the students. Javaria Abdali, Yasmina H. Sheikh, Sarah Asgarzadeh, Hogjat Azimi Asrari, Bigita Benichen, Rayana Jane Birch, Erin Collins, Ruidet Daniel, Janavi Dave, Anne Duong, Josephine Eluk-Baju, Romina Fakrai, Claire Fang McMaster, Rane Farouan Depour, Edward Garner, Brennan Garland, Victoria Gilchrist, Danik Goulet, Toka Hussein, Monir Jamalka Kothali, Isan Javandust, Nathaniel Jones, Moshtaba Shuzizadeh Aliabadi, Selby Kaczmarek, Abdulhamed Kaskari, Karen King, Kimberly Kobar, Pavel Kochetkov, Laureen May Cripps, Dilini Kumaran, Yi-Chu Liang, Barakatu Ligali Epsis, Yanjun Liu, Mrudula Madapujji Srinivasan, Elman Mahmoudian, Tibanj Modi, Sameh Mortazrijri, Robert Mayet, Rachel Nadeau, Manaz Nazari, Fatime Nipton, Benjamin Nguyen, Fatime Panayi Arazi, Oifi Raili, Reza Rezai, Alex Ross, Elmria Safei Kamsari, James Sakea, Aisha Saleh, Ahmad Sibai, Malaikami Sivatsankar, Tyler Smith, Zongzi Sun, Yiran Sun, Baedin Tailush, Stephen Tour, Michael Verret, Marilyn Vélan, Jiayun Su, Hangmeng Yu, Songhee Yu, Miriam Zer.
Thank you, Dr. Stinzy. Merci, Dr. Stinzy, et toutes mes félicitations à nos étudiants de doctorat pour leur admission à la Faculté de médecine de l'Université d'Ottawa, une des facultés de médecine qui a une intensité de recherche la plus grande au pays. Congratulations to all the students to enter the Faculty of Medicine here at the University of Ottawa. Our faculty is recognized as one of the most research-intensive faculties in Canada, so thank you. J'aimerais maintenant vous présenter le Dr. Su. I would like now to turn our attention and present to you Dr. Su. Dr. Su has been an emergency department physician at the Winchester District Memorial Hospital for over 20 years and was the chief of emergency medicine from 2007 to 2012. He is a clinician teacher and an assistant professor in the Department of Emergency Medicine and has held many positions since joining the Faculty of Medicine in 2007. He has been the Director of Distributed Medical Education since 2010, facilitating clinical rotations in rural settings, thus offering learners a robust medical education. He leads the leadership curriculum for the medical students and in 2020 became the Director of Pre-Clerkship in the Anglophone stream. He holds a cross-appointment to the Department of Family Medicine. Dr. Su is a graduate of the Faculty of Medicine's Distinguished Teacher Program, offered to faculty members who are among the top 5% of all evaluated faculty and which recognizes them for exemplary and innovative teaching. Dr. Su.
Merci. Thank you, Dean Jesme. I'm excited to take on this new role as Vice Dean and would like to take this opportunity to do 3 things. First, I would like to underline the very important roles that the faculty and operations team play in the success of our students. Collectively, their support, dedication, and passion for our students have shaped the outstanding MD program that we know today. The countless hours of extra work put in by our operations team and faculty, literally being on call for our students, shows the depth of personal investment that we have for their success. Sachez que chacun d'entre nous a à cœur la réussite de tous nos étudiants. Secondly, on behalf of the faculty, I would like to give thanks to the parents, grandparents, siblings, family, friends, and partners of our students. Merci aux parents, grands-parents, familles, amis, et partenaires de nos étudiants. Thank you for entrusting us with your loved one's future, allowing us to help them learn to serve. Know that a huge team of highly qualified and dedicated individuals is behind them to help them along their journey. Troisièmement, et plus important encore, merci à nos étudiants. Vous avez choisi de servir. Thank you, students, for choosing to serve and to care for patients in our community and the population as a whole. When you first donned your white coat, your lives changed forever. The profession you have joined will demand much of you. This will be the most challenging journey of your lives. If you work harder than you have ever worked and remain professional at all times, I promise you that the rewards for your dedication and service will be life-changing in the most positive ways for you, our patients, and our society. Visez toujours l'excellence dans chacune de nos valeurs fondamentales et ce chaque jour. Nos patients ne méritent rien de moins. Always strive for excellence in each of our core values. Every day, our patients deserve no less. Now I want to say to the students, recognize that being a physician is a calling and not a job. It's essential that we learn and we do all that we possibly can in order to better serve our patients. Some students challenge this counsel, stating that striving thus could undermine their wellness. But rest assured that striving for excellence does not undermine wellness, it promotes it. However, if constantly striving for excellence is making you unwell, know that we are here to help you. Being excellent also means recognizing the need to ask for help. Être excellent, c'est aussi reconnaître le besoin de demander de l'aide. As you face the upcoming weeks, months, and years of study towards your MD, I am certain that you would really like to know exactly what it takes to succeed. We all know you can succeed because you are here today, and while it may seem like a little bit of bragging, I really take no personal credit for this. We are really, really good at choosing students who we succeed. But I know that's not the recipe that you'd like to have. So here it is, how to succeed at medical school. Uphold the faculty's core values of respect, collaboration, altruism, compassion, empathy, honesty, integrity, excellence, responsibility, accountability, equity, confidentiality, dedication, and self-improvement. It's a lot of words, so write these down, tape them to your mirror in your bathroom so you can read these every day when you brush your teeth. Take a screenshot of them, put them on the wallpaper of your phone so you can read them every time you look at it until you have them memorized them, until you've memorized them. Live them. Know that if you always keep these core values in mind, the health and well-being of your patients, society, your colleagues, and yourself will be served. Les étudiants et étudiantes de la promotion 2025 vont maintenant se lever et prononcer avec moi la déclaration de professionnalisme en français et en anglais. Students of the MD 2025 class will now rise and pronounce with me the Declaration of Professionalism in French and in English. En tant qu'étudiant en médecine, je reconnais que j'appartiens désormais à la communauté médicale. À ce titre, j'assume l'entière responsabilité de ma conduite et je m'attends à ce que mes collègues fassent de même. Je respecterai les normes de conduite professionnelle les plus élevées en milieu scolaire et clinique, conformément aux valeurs fondamentales de respect, de collaboration, d'altruisme, de compassion, d'empathie, d'honnêteté, d'intégrité, d'excellence, de bon-être, de responsabilité, d'équité, de confidentialité, dévouement et de perfectionnement de la Faculté de médecine de l'Université d'Ottawa. Je fais cette déclaration dans le cadre de mon engagement envers ma santé et mon bien-être, ainsi que ceux de mes patients, de la société et mes collègues du milieu médical. And now in English. As a medical student, I recognize that I am now a member of the medical community. As such, I accept responsibility for my conduct and expect the same of my colleagues. I will demonstrate the highest standards of professional behavior in academic and clinical settings, as guided by the University of Ottawa Faculty of Medicine's core values of respect, collaboration, altruism, compassion, empathy, honesty, integrity, excellence, wellness, responsibility, accountability, equity, confidentiality, dedication, and self-improvement. I make this declaration as part of my commitment towards the health and well-being of patients, society, my colleagues in the medical profession, and myself. Merci. Thank you. J'aimerais maintenant inviter Mademoiselle Gabrielle Di Lorenzo, présidente de la Société d'Esculape, à adresser quelques mots aux étudiants et à réciter avec eux le serment de professionnalisme. I would now like to call upon Ms. Gabrielle Di Lorenzo, President of the Asclepian Society, to address a few words to the students and to recite with them the professionalism oath.
Vice-Dean Sue, guest, graduate, family, friends, and of course, our guest of honor, the future class of 2025 of the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Ottawa, I am honored to stand before you today and have the privilege of welcoming you to our medical program, which marks the beginning of an incredibly exciting journey for you. Je tiens d'abord à souligner que les terres sur lesquelles nous nous réunissons aujourd'hui font partie du territoire traditionnel non cédé du peuple Anishinaabe-Algonquin. Pour ceux et celles qui viennent de loin, je vous encourage à visiter le site internet nativeland.ca pour en apprendre davantage sur le peuple à qui appartient la terre que vous occuperiez maintenant. En tant qu'étudiant sur ce territoire, il est mon devoir d'espérer que vous vous joindrez à moi sur cette recherche de renseignements sur les effets du colonialisme blanc, de la discrimination systémique et de l'oppression qui sont encore présents au Canada. I recognize my privileged position as a white medical student, and I am committed to overcoming the discomfort around these difficult discussions, and to seek and encourage an open dialogue towards meaningful equity, diversity, and inclusion for all. In the words of the past president of the Canadian Medical Association, Dr. Gigi Osler, by championing equity and diversity, we make our profession stronger and healthier, and we ensure the best care for our patients. Vous entrez dans une profession où vous rencontrerez 1001 individus uniques avec des valeurs et des opinions différentes. Il vous incombera de les respecter et de respecter les différences de chacun, de maintenir une attitude professionnelle en tout temps, tant envers vos patients que l'équipe médicale. Gardez ces mots en tête lors de votre départ dans le monde de la médecine. At this point, you're probably wondering, why is this lady talking to us? Well, my name is Gabrielle Di Lorenzo, and I am the president of the Asclepian Society, your medical student council. Being in your shoes just 2 years ago, I distinctly remember the emotion accompanying the start of this journey. Traditionally, during the speech, the president of the Asclepian Society offers a few tips as you begin your medical education. However, I have decided to share my story and my experience during my first 2 years of medical school. Je me souviens clairement d'ouvrir le courriel « Félicitations » autour de 6 heures du matin en une belle journée de mai 2019. Un sentiment de joie m'a envahi pendant mon appel FaceTime avec mes parents lorsqu'ils poussèrent des cris de joie et des pleurs de réjouissance. Tout comme vous, j'avais travaillé d'arrache-pied pendant très longtemps pour mon plus grand rêve. Néanmoins, ce que personne ne se rendit compte est que j'ai été envahie par la peur, l'anxiété et un sentiment complet d'imposture. Ces sentiments m'ont poursuivi pendant très longtemps après mon début des classes. As class began, this feeling of dread, anxiety, and incompetence never left me, not even for a second. I worked hard through my first year of medicine, losing sleep, neglecting my favorite pastimes, forsaking new friendships, and losing the Gabrielle that I knew. Vous vous demandez sûrement, ne devrait-on pas être en mesure de réaliser quand quelqu'un ne va pas bien en tant qu'étudiant en médecine? Toutefois, la maladie mentale est sournoise, car elle s'insinue lentement chez quelqu'un. Étant une fervente avocate des soins pour la santé mentale, je peux vous dire que je n'ai pas vu celle-ci s'insinuer chez moi. J'ai eu beaucoup de difficultés à m'avouer et à reconnaître que j'avais besoin d'aide. Si vous m'aviez dit en première année que je donnerais le discours à la cérémonie des blouses blanches des MD 2025 en tant que présidente de la SOCE, je me serais mise à en pleurer. Aujourd'hui, je suis fière d'avoir été chercher de l'aide, d'avoir débuté la discussion sur ce sujet difficile et de travailler quotidiennement à vivre avec cette réalité. Today, I am sharing my personal story with you to begin the journey towards breaking the taboo around mental illness and imposter syndrome that can be present in our demanding profession. While this is my own story, I can tell you that many of my colleagues have had personal experience with feelings of fear, incompetence, inadequacy, or anxiety at different intensities and at various times during their studies or career. And so, I have two pieces of advice to give you for your entry in medicine. Numéro 1, votre santé physique et mentale compte avant tout. Your physical and mental health matters above everything. It is easy to forget that we are normal human beings, even though we are studying medicine. We often talk about medicine as a noble vocation and a higher calling. We often internalize this idea and set our expectations for ourselves based on this profession. You are human. Be kind to yourself. You will work hard over the next 4 years, but don't forget to take time for yourself. Binge 4 Netflix shows in a row, take a night off, sleep 4 extra hours. Be proud of having spent an entire weekend without studying. These actions will help you stay the course, be resilient in the face of challenges that medical school brings, and keep in mind what amazing individuals you are outside of medicine. Numéro 2, vous n'êtes pas seul. You are not alone. Selon un proverbe africain, il faut un village pour élever un enfant. Beaucoup d'entre nous sont virtuellement entourés de membres de notre village alors que vous participez à cette cérémonie aujourd'hui. Vous êtes ici non seulement grâce à un travail acharné et à votre détermination, mais aussi grâce au soutien de ces personnes très spéciales. En plus, vous allez nouer des liens exceptionnels avec les membres de votre classe, tant dans le volet anglophone que francophone. Les amis, les relations que j'ai créées au cours de mes premières années à la faculté de médecine ont rendu l'expérience inoubliable. Your families, friends, new friends, life partners, faculty members, and teachers will be there for you throughout your medical education and career. Don't hesitate for a second to talk to any of these people when things are not going well. Ainsi, si je peux vous laisser aujourd'hui avec ces 2 seules phrases, en espérant qu'elles vous suivront tout au long de votre longue étude et carrière, j'aurai accompli quelque chose de merveilleux. So, class of 2025, with these words in mind, put on your white coats and become the doctors you've always dreamed of being. Congratulations to the MD 2025 class and welcome to the University of Ottawa's Faculty of Medicine. Je vais maintenant demander aux étudiants de se lever pour réciter le serment de professionnalisme de la promotion 2025. Ce serment, qu'ont composé les étudiants, leur servira de code de conduite durant leurs études en médecine. I will now ask the students to stand and recite the professionalism oath of the MD 2025 class. The students wrote this oath, which they will use to guide their conduct throughout medical school. Au nom de la promotion 2025, nous vous souhaitons la bienvenue à notre engagement à la profession médicale. Nous tenons à souligner que le terrain sur lequel se trouve la faculté de l'Université d'Ottawa est le territoire traditionnel non cédé du peuple algonquin à Washinabé. Nous leur rendons hommage ainsi qu'à cette terre que nous appelons maintenant notre foyer, une terre où nous continuerons à grandir et à donner en retour. Nous sommes honorés d'être ici aujourd'hui à l'occasion de la Cérémonie des blouses blanches qui constitue une étape importante de notre engagement envers la pratique de la médecine. En tant que classe de 2025, nous promettons de respecter ce serment professionnel. We acknowledge the importance of a lifelong learning and will constantly strive to contribute to the medical innovation. We acknowledge the impact of mentorship in our professional careers and promise to nurture the culture of collaboration in the next generation of healthcare professionals. We embrace our roles as leaders within the community to ensure that we are committed to promoting the health and well-being of all. Nous reconnaissons que la relation patient-médecin est fondée sur une relation de confiance et nous nous engageons à gagner cette confiance en permanence lors de chaque interaction avec les patients. Nous nous efforcerons toujours de défendre nos patients et leur droit d'accéder à des soins sûrs, efficaces et équitables. Nous reconnaissons les valeurs et les croyances uniques de nos patients et promettons de préserver et de privilégier leurs intérêts. Nous nous assurons, en apprenant de notre formation clinique, de fournir à nos patients les ressources nécessaires pour prendre les décisions éclairées concernant leur santé. We acknowledge our privilege to be entrusted as active members of the healthcare community and understand the unique duties and responsibilities that accompany this role. We aim to gain the trust of our peers, faculty, community members, and future patients by continually demonstrating integrity and humility throughout our career. We value accountability and vow to continuously reflect on our performance and experiences. Nous sommes reconnaissants de pouvoir commencer notre carrière dans la capitale nationale qui valorise la richesse de la diversité culturelle et vise à créer un environnement inclusif. Tous nos pairs sont issus de milieux différents, ont été confrontés à des défis différents et ont des expériences uniques. Nous nous engageons donc à assumer notre responsabilité sociale et à fonder notre profession sur la promotion de l'équité et de la compétence culturelle parmi nos pairs, nos patients et la communauté que nous servons. Despite the doubts, confusion, and sadness, the current global health crisis has strengthened our compassion, our courage, our understanding, and our love. These circumstances have sharpened one of our most powerful tools, resilience. We acknowledge that in order to reach our full potential in a moment of hardship, we must take care of ourselves first. We will continue to advocate for our mental and physical health in order to provide the highest standard of care. Avec le plus grand honneur et le plus grand respect, et en reconnaissant nos innombrables privilèges, nous, la classe de 2025, jurons de tenir cette promesse à chaque fois que nous revêtons notre blouse blanche. Aujourd'hui, nous nous présentons non plus comme des individus, mais comme de futurs médecins unis, partageant ensemble ce moment en votre présence. À partir de maintenant, nous partagerons ensemble notre gratitude, nos connaissances et notre passion pour cette digne profession. Merci. Merci. I would now like to invite Dr. Geneviève Lemay, Assistant Dean of Admission, to call the names of the MD 2025 candidates. J'invite maintenant Dr. Geneviève Lemay, doyenne adjointe aux admissions, à nommer les noms des étudiants et étudiantes de la cohorte 2025.
Merci. Thank you, Gabrielle. Revêtir le sarrau symbolise votre entrée dans la profession et votre engagement à l'accomplissement du devoir. Ce sarrau unit les générations de médecins actuels et futurs, puisque nous sommes tous censés apprendre et exercer en maintenant un niveau de professionnalisme le plus élevé qui soit. Les noms que j'appelle aujourd'hui sont ceux que préfèrent les étudiants. Donning the white coat symbolizes your entry into the profession and your commitment to the call of service. This coat unites both our future and current generations of physicians, as we are all expected to learn and practice while upholding and maintaining the utmost level of professionalism. The names I called today are those preferred by the students. Abhishek Achunayar, Robert Adamo, Malvika Agarwal, Jonathan Agung, Aryan Ahmadvant, Ali Ahmed, Raymond Al-Hamzi, Ahmad Al-Madej, Sami Al-Rashid, Doura Hassani, Catherine A, Yasmine Bala, Raj Bapuji, Adir Baxi, Anit Badachuria, Brooke Binyam, Dominique Boucher, Estelle Caron-Poulain, Abigail Carpentier, Nadine Cheffy, Lucy Chen, Domenica Chironi, Matthew Cope, Tanya Dafer, Robin Dagger, Melissa Dan, Alexa Dirksen, Valeria Dimitrova, Pierre-Marc Dion, Andreas Dionysopoulos, Anastasia Drakos, Laurent Dubé, Iman El-Melouki, Pardis Elmi, Lara El-Nagari, Youssef Al-Sayes, Rachel Fagan, Nathan Ferreira, Rachel Filler, Jonathan Fortinsky, Mark Fratocongeli, Amanda Fragonis, Julie Godet, Kirk Gaudreau, Sarah Gauthier, Teresa Gawargi, Gaganpreet Jiki, Nibras Ganmi, Ramthin Gassemi, Enola Gobrial, Praneet Gill, Jane Gergelis, Cynthia Nianasilan, Marie-Pierre Goupil, Aaron Grutenboer, Sneha Gupta, Ahmed Halim, Myriam Amsio, Moise Hassan, Jordan Hassin, Leon He, Lisa He, Matilda Hick, Charmaine Holland, Emma Huang, Nikki Hubener, Sean Ying Hong Hu, Jenny Huang, Tenaz Irani, Rachel Eisman, Nabil Islam, Maria Paola Jeremillo, Aravinth Jabanisan, Shiv Narayan Kandapa, Courage Kashanian, Reine Julia Kemzang Emogan, Zoe Kerhulas, Jaskarn Kangura, Marc Labib, Véronique Lafrance, Justin Lalonde, Haley Land, Jillian Larkin, Rebecca Lau, John Lay, Alexis Leclerc, Jessica Dominique Leck, Anne Lee, Isabelle Lefebvre, Sophie Lee, Sophia Liu, William Lutz, Rachel Madre, Caroline Malady, Christina Malouk, Garoman Mon, Olivia Marcotte, Jacqueline Martin, Odessa McKenna, Natalia Medina, Olivia Mercier, Alex Mihich, Kevin Min, Siddiq Mirza, Assis Naki, Macy Narbonne, Sam Papernick, Christine Paquette Canalonga, Jean-Louis Parmassad, Aaron Pensiner, Jonas Filthius, Jessica Pauliwada, Andrew Paskis, Michel Pradier, Victoria Purdy Miller, Kathleen Chu, Liam Quartermain, Chris Rad, Malek Ramani, Yasul Rajapaksa, Ezra Rakab, Jarna Rathod, Hadra Rathor, Ayub Rubain, Lindsay Reed, Logan Reynolds, Youssef Sadiki, Poria Sadiri Radichaki, Hussein Said, Melissa Sam Soon, Adrian Santhakumar, Liam Sanvido, Jacob Sartor, Jean-Christophe Savoie, Mathieu Sayard, Omar Spinati, Adèle Scarlett, Puyan Sehavati, Erica Schlegold, Reda Silarbi, Michael Smokinski, Sivim Sohail, Ellen Song, Nuri Song, Eric Santamand, Jessica Starr, Alexandra Stoyanova, Dea Sulai, Taraneh Tabatabae, Dana Tabet, Morel Tadros, Hugh Hya Sherry Tan, Khadija Tariq, Sarosh Tariq, Harmi Talker, McKenna Tim, Andrew Tran, Jamie Turk, Vanessa Viltakis, Rémi Vincent, Tristan Wild, Allison Williams, Bethany Volin, Sarah Yang, Wenhui Yu, Amy Zaglinski Spinney,
Félicitations à nos étudiants et étudiantes de médecine. Congratulations to all of our medical students. Et merci, Dr. Lemay. Thank you, Dr. Lemay. Family members and friends of our students, chers parents et amis de nos étudiantes et étudiants, thank you again for being with us on this important occasion. Merci d'être parmi nous en cette très grande occasion. Chères étudiantes et étudiants, j'espère qu'avec cette cérémonie, vous appréciez encore plus le symbolisme de la blouse blanche, l'importance des valeurs de professionnalisme qui s'y rattachent et de la haute priorité de toutes celles-ci pour notre faculté de médecine. Dear students, I hope that with this ceremony, you appreciate even more the symbolism of the white coat, the importance of the values of professionalism that are linked to it, and the priority that our faculty gives to all these values. Today is a great moment in all of our lives. Aujourd'hui, c'est un grand moment dans toutes nos vies. Miigwech, merci, thank you. Bonne fin de journée. Have a nice day.